of contracting the coronavirus and how it could affect their insurance policies. Many of them have policies on life insurance, funeral covers and salary or income protection. But the question really is, could they lose their cover if they get infected by the virus? Let's find out from Marius Botha. He's Managing Director of Life Insurer Stangen, and he joins us now live on the line. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Botha. Thank you so much for joining us here on the SABC News channel.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we've been hearing and seeing a lot of advertisements really on television lately since the eruption of the COVID-19. But I think the most important question is COVID-19 covered by insurance policies when it comes to income, life or disability?
Yes, so if we start with life insurance, we talk about an individualized policy or funeral policy. Both will cover you if you acquire COVID-19 and subsequently pass away. On income protection policies, they typically cover a percentage of your salary in the event that you become either temporarily disabled or incapacitated or on a permanent basis disabled. What we understand from the virus at this stage is that either you will recover fairly quickly, in which case you won't qualify for a benefit. There's very little evidence at this stage that it will result in a permanent form of disability under which to claim. But there are some income protection policies that do cover loss of income or loss of job. So if you're one of those individuals who currently face loss of income or loss of job, I would advise the viewers to approach their life insurance company to see if they qualify for such cover under an income protection policy. It's also important to note for customers who have loans, so either home loans, vehicle insurance loans, or short-term loans, a lot of those policies cover either death, disability, or as well retrenchment or loss of income. And so they can approach their bank or credit provider or the associated insurance company to try and submit a claim which will either cover the outstanding balance of the loan or an installment a certain number of months as part of the cover.
All right. So now you talk about approaching our insurance companies. It actually brings me to my next question. What important conversations should we be having now with our insurance companies in light of this coronavirus?
This is a very good opportunity for viewers to be reviewing whether they have sufficient cover on their policies. If you have, for example, a funeral policy, whether you have the right family members that you would like to have covered on that policy. And of course, for customers who don't have any form of insurance cover, now is a good time to put it in place. However, we advise that customers shouldn't do it just because of COVID-19. They should still look at the longer-term future and make sure that they buy the right product for the long term that suits their needs.
Mm-hmm. There are some people who are wanting to buy what they call risk cover during the lockdown period. Is this a good move?
Sorry, just repeat that. To buy which cover?
Is it a good idea to buy what they call a risk cover now?
Yes, I think any form of individual risk policy is a good thing to consider at this stage. Customers should just note whether there are terms and conditions on those policies. So, for example, a funeral policy typically has a waiting period, so therefore they should look at companies who are currently waiving waiting periods, which is a period that you can't submit a claim from the date of sale on the policy. But if you go for an individualized policy where, for example, there is a form of medical underwriting or health question-based underwriting, typically there would be no waiting period and they would get cover immediately if they take out the cover now.
All right. So what happens if one has a critical illness that can actually be exacerbated by the infection and perhaps the person may need some kind of surgery or stroke, or maybe they have cancer? Can they be covered as well?
So there are two types of critical illness policies in the market. We differentiate between a comprehensive policy and then a simple or a core product. Typically, your simple or core products would only cover things like cancer, heart attack, stroke, as an example. So you would not necessarily be able to claim under those policies because of the coronavirus. On your comprehensive critical illness products, some of them have, for example, a terminal illness benefit. And so if you acquire the disease and become terminally ill, you would be able to submit a claim under those policies. Otherwise, if there's a comorbidity type risk, you must still have an incident that arises from one of those diseases in order to count from a critical illness policy.
All right, that's where we'll leave it for today. Thank you so much for coming through. Marius Botha is the Managing Director of Life Insurer Stangen, talking to us about what we should do. And he says that this is a great opportunity for all of us to re-look into our insurances, all the covers that we may have at this particular moment, to see if COVID-19 coronavirus can also be covered or not.